Hi everybody, it's Carl Delarocco again. We're here at Southern Connecticut State University, back for our third episode of I'll Eat That. It is a cooking show that I host here. I'm also a student here. So today, we're gonna be making everybody's favorite tacos. And also it's Halloween, happy Halloween. I'm dressed as a chef for my costume. So today we're gonna do tacos. Like I said, we're gonna do chicken, steak, and shrimp tacos. And we have all the regular fixings: cheese, salsa, sour cream, peppers, and onions. So first I'm gonna wash my hands as I always do in the beginning. Nice lather. And you don't have to go crazy, just make sure you're clean. Lukewarm water. Okay. And dry it off. Can't stress enough cleanliness, as I always say in every episode, because this might be someone's first time watching, first time cooking, really. So we are good here. First thing we're gonna do is prep our vegetables. I took the liberty of cutting some peppers. I left the onions. You basically just cut them in half, cut the ends off, and take the skin off. And it's just gonna be a nice cut. Remember our claw, grip it so you don't cut your finger off. And it's just one fluid motion. One fluid motion. Slide your hands down. This is all getting sauteed, so it doesn't have to be, perfect. It's all gonna go in the pan. You can break it up. You can put it in the same pile as your peppers. They're going in the pan in a minute. Any little pieces, just clear it up, so that's that. Same thing. I go very fast, you shouldn't. I'll go slow for you actually. And it's just back and forth, back and forth. Same thing. The pepper, regular bell pepper. The way I do it is, I cut all four sides. So, like that, here, and that. Then you don't have to core it. You're basically doing it by slicing. Same thing. Doesn't have to be any specific cut, no julienne or anything like that, because I imagine no one really knows how to do that unless you're a cook, and I'm probably pretty rusty on my knife skills, to be honest. And you don't want them too thick because peppers do take a while to cook. So, try to do it as thin as you can, but again, there's no rule to this. I like meals when you can just kind of do your own thing. Okay, so we have that. I took the liberty of putting my oil in my pans already. It's just really not even a capful, maybe a little more than a capful. You just want to cover the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to turn my burners on. I'm going to start low and work my way up. So this is kind of like a mid setting because you want your oil to heat up. Again, I'm new to this stove, to be honest, so I'm learning as I go. It is electric, which I find a little harder to work with, but we can make it work. So these are all on like medium heat. And we're gonna let our oil heat up a little bit. You can put the vegetables in, not gonna hurt. Let the oil get at them. And we're gonna do all these at once. And I'll show you what else I have. As I said, chicken, steak, and shrimp. Okay, so just let those be. This is just regular chicken like we used on the pizza from the first episode. You can find it in any supermarket. It's already sliced. It's perfect. You just open up the package and dump it in the pan. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put that over here. Okay. Let those heat up. We have shrimp. It's already peeled and tailed. Perfect. We're gonna put that in this pan. There's quite a bit of it. And then we have beef tips, which they really look beautiful. So we're gonna put those right here. And you can just let those sit till the oil heats up. Okay. So you can already hear our peppers sizzling. And these are on medium heat. We're gonna higher it a little bit. Okay, our beef's already going. Now, seasoning. We're gonna season them while they're in the pan. Okay? So of course, salt, that goes on everything. You don't have to go crazy, just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Don't go nuts. Okay. A little bit of pepper, black pepper. Again, you don't have to go crazy. It's all gonna get mixed together anyway. So don't overdo it. We have quite a bit of seasoning that we're gonna put on these, as you'll see in a second. Okay. Garlic powder, always good on everything. So again, don't go nuts. Just a little bit. And all these get the same. Onion powder, very strong, be careful. Okay. Now the shrimp and the chicken are gonna cook very fast. So you keep your eye on it. I mean, not that fast that I can't do all this, but just keep your eye on it. This is chili powder. Again, don't go nuts. This is the strongest of all the seasonings that we have. And a little bit. And a little bit. Okay. Paprika. Paprika to me is not very strong. It kind of really has no taste, to be honest. It's more of a color thing. It helps, but it doesn't, you know, to be honest, it doesn't really matter if you put it, but I do it. It adds just a little bit. Just a little bit. And it's personal preference. All this is. Okay. So onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, chili powder, and salt and pepper, okay? And now you don't need a spatula for all these. I just have spoons. I have a spoon for each one, and you're really just moving it around. And if you feel like your heat is too much, you can lower it, you can higher it. Just watch, okay? This chicken is already cooked, so this is not gonna need much, okay? So we're gonna kind of let that be. And the chicken you can lower a little bit. And that's on about a medium heat. Right in the middle. These settings go from 1 to 10. The chicken's on a 5 right now, okay? So the chicken is just chilling. Okay? And we'll leave that there. Move on to our shrimp. Cooks very fast. Again, moving around in the oil. We're gonna higher that just a little bit. Let that go. They're already starting to cook. You'll notice it's not hard. It's more by color. Okay, separate spoon obviously because it's fish. Our peppers and onions. These will probably take the longest. And you're just moving it around. You don't need a spatula, just a spoon. Spread them out nice, spread them evenly. You can let them sit for a while. And I'm gonna higher those a little bit. Those are on about a 7 on the setting. So I don't know how your stove is gonna work, your burners. If it's on gas, just watch the flame, okay? Again, every cook I know prefers gas. The place I live now is electric, so I've gotten used to it, but I had gas my whole life. Much easier to maneuver, heat-wise. Okay, so we got that going. And we're gonna look at our beef. And this is probably the hardest to cook. I put it in a small pan. I'm just letting it kind of simmer. I will hire it in a second after I flip it around, but this, you don't have to move around as much. You're kind of letting it sit on one side. Think of it as like you're cooking a steak on the grill. You want it to cook evenly, but you're gonna more or less leave it for a while. Let one side cook, move it around. The other things you kind of have to constantly, not constantly, but you have to keep more eye on, okay? And we got that going. Okay, we'll hire our beef a little bit. These are all on about an 8 right now. And again, just continuously watching. Like I said last time, I have an internal clock in my head. Okay. So we're moving this around, And like I said, you don't have to cook one thing at a time. I got all this cooking at once. So, you know, you'll be done in a fairly quick amount of time. The chicken really, like I said, it's already cooked. So the chicken's gonna be done first. I may lower it onto the lowest setting once it's done and just kind of let it be. You watch these, if you need a little more oil, add it. It's not gonna hurt. Again, cooking it's your, I don't know how to say it, but you're kind of improvising as you go, you know. Everything cooks different, so, and everybody cooks different. That's the beauty of it. It's like art. If I look at a painting and you look at a painting, it's gonna look completely different to me than it does to you. And that's the beauty of it, okay? So our chicken, I'm actually gonna really lower all the way to the bottom. And I'm gonna throw a dab of oil, just a dab, just to kind of give it a little liquid, a little bit, okay? Barely a pour. And this again is extra virgin. I prefer that, especially as an Italian. Okay, so our chicken we can just let sit. It's not gonna burn. Just let it chill, okay, while the rest is cooking. Stir our peppers and onions. And the way you know these are done, which they're not yet, but they start to loosen up, okay? They start to get thinner. And we're gonna lower this to a light simmer. Like I said, the settings are 1 to 10. We're gonna put this on about a 5, okay? And kind of just let them be, You're not gonna burn them. If you do, it actually, onions taste a little better with a little burn. Obviously we don't wanna burn them too much, okay? We'll go to our beef, flip that around a little bit. I put these in the smaller pan on purpose. They're kind of bunched, but that's okay, that's how I wanted it. So they cook at once, okay? Again, these probably take the longest. One, because it's raw meat, and you want it to be, you know, fully cooked. The other, just because it's thicker than all this, okay? So we're continuously moving from pan to pan to pan, okay? The goal, as I adjust my heat, is to have all this done at the same time. Just like I told you last time. You want all your food done at the same time, okay? These shrimp are cooking nice. Okay, perfect amount of oil. Just cover the bottom of the pan. You can't rush. Don't try to turn your heat up and rush. Cooking's not about rushing. It's about getting it right. Okay? Again, flatten these out. Those look great. Our peppers and onions are cooking. And I am going to add just a little oil to these. Just a little sprinkle. Okay. Oil's tricky because you don't you don't want to add too much. You'll drown your food. But you want the right amount so you're not burning your pan or burning your food. Just be careful. You can see, just by looking. These are cooking nice. Everything is really going perfect here. Okay. The beauty of these is you don't have to move. You can just stand in front of the flat top the whole time. Perfect. We're flowing right along here. Okay? Check your beef. Any of the pink parts, put them face down. Okay? Some people may put a top on. I don't like the color that it comes out when you do that. It's kind of a light color and I want it dark. So these, again, are going to take the longest. And we're actually going to throw just a little oil in there. Get it going there. Okay. That's on the highest setting of all these. The chicken's done, So, the chicken's just chilling. Again, it's already cooked. Got a nice color on there. I'm sure this will be the most popular one. Everybody likes chicken. And again, I didn't turn this off. I left it on low, 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 the lowest setting. So it'll stay hot until the rest are done. Evenly cooked, evenly cooked. That's what it's all about. Okay? Our shrimp is going here. And we may turn this up a little bit, just a little. You can always turn it down. You don't gotta be scared. Okay? This one doesn't need more oil. This one I put the perfect amount. Okay, let that simmer. Back to our peppers and onions. Like I said, you can see me going from each one. And I'm continuously keeping an eye. Okay? These are going to be done in no time. It all is, really. These are really, really close to being done. Okay? Just let them go, let them go. These are just on a 5. These aren't even, going crazy. The rest of the stuff's on high. And our steak is moving out. Okay, be careful. You don't want to splash oil on your hand. It's not fun. Okay. These are getting there too. You see, well, you could see they're browning. And it looks like when you're cooking steak on the grill. Okay. Just let those go. We're going here. All right. You could shift them around with your hand. Shrimp are starting to get a nice color on there. Again, like the beef, these are fish. And they're raw. So you want to make sure they're really, really done. Okay. Before you serve them to people. Fish is one of the hardest things to cook. Not that it's hard, but you want to make sure it's done, but you also don't want to burn it. Okay. So move it around, spread them out. If you need to lower it, you could, which I'm gonna pretty soon. They still need a minute to go here. Okay. On a side note, I appreciate everybody watching the first 2 episodes. I'm really enjoying this. I'm flattered that my school chose me to do this. Again, I'm very active on campus. I do a lot of stuff. So, any Southern students who are watching this, I encourage you to do the same. Our peppers and onions are pretty much done, to be honest. So we're gonna lower these all the way down, all the way down. And just let them hang. Okay. These are good. And again, our onions are very dark. They're caramelized. They call that caramelized. And there's nothing wrong with that. That gives it flavor. So those can just hang until everything else is done. Chicken's done. So we're waiting on our beef and our shrimp. And again, don't rush. Let it go. Let it go. I'm gonna do this well done because, well, we'll say medium well. You get the nice dark color. Okay? And you'll notice by how firm it is. Okay? This is really almost done. So we're gonna lower this one too. Way, way down. To about a 3. Okay? Just kind of let it be. Let it be. Don't get scared if it gets dark. You're not gonna burn it as long as you keep an eye on it. Okay? We'll wait a little on that actually. We're pretty much done. Besides our shrimp. And then we can build our taco, which is the fun part. Okay. And these are really, they got a nice color on them. Brown, but not too brown. These pans really cook nice. So we're gonna turn this down. Okay. It's very low. They're all on the lowest setting because they're really done. I'm gonna turn them off in a second. Okay. Okay. So everything's done. My stove is off. And now we're gonna just transfer these into bowls. Very easy. You don't wanna drop any. Okay. Again, separate spoons for everything. So yeah, even I'm dropping a little bit. That's all right. I'll eat those. And you just put your pan to the side. Okay. It's our shrimp. This can go in the sink. Next, we'll do our peppers and onions. Again, just be careful. Pans are hot. You can just, don't rush. Don't waste. One of the things I hate the most, and I've worked in a lot of places, you'd be surprised the food that gets thrown out. It's a shame. So we don't do that. I don't waste. Okay? Get every last one. Okay. Again, put that to the side. These are all going to get washed. Okay, so there's our peppers and onions. And we'll leave our spoon because we're going to need it. Okay. Chicken. Same thing. Don't rush. You don't want to drop it if you can help it. Okay. And our beef. Over here. It's a little oil, but that's okay because it'll give it some, soften it up a little bit. I mean, you don't want to just dump the oil in, but we're good here. Again, I overcooked it a little bit. I don't want to say overcooked, but I compensated because you never know what people like. Not everybody likes rare. It's up to you, really. Here's our chicken. So we have our steak, our chicken, our peppers and onions, and our shrimp. Now, we have regular cheddar cheese. You can use whatever kind of cheese you want. I use cheddar. I think it's the most common for tacos. Regular Tostitos salsa, mild. So that's good. And then we have sour cream. And it's your preference which kind you buy. I don't have a preference. So for our shells, we have something interesting that not everybody's familiar with. And I call them boats, but this brand is Old El Paso. They're pretty much bowls, little bowls. So you don't need a stand. You don't need to wrap them up. I mean, tacos can get messy. These are still gonna get messy after you eat them, but these are much easier to maneuver with. So now we're gonna build our tacos, okay? So first, I do peppers and onions, and that's kind of like the foundation, okay? You don't have to go crazy. Just fill the bottom, because you're gonna put other stuff on here a lot. And just fill the bottom. I'm using these for all of them. Don't go nuts. Well, it's up to you really, but I'm not gonna go nuts here. I like a little mixture of everything, okay? And we'll do a little bit of that. So that's that. Then I'm gonna do the meat. I'm gonna start with chicken. Okay. And again, just fill the boat. Okay. I'm gonna do my steak. Again, just enough to fill the boat. Same thing. And our shrimp, which is my favorite. Fill that up. Okay. Next, and yes, my hands are clean, you remember. I'm gonna do the cheese. Cover the top. Cover the top. And cover the top. Okay, put that to the side. Okay, and then for the final touches, a spoonful of salsa. Again, personal preference. I don't like too much, but you do want a good amount. And again, it's mild, because I don't know if people like spicy. I'm not crazy about spicy food. I like it, but not, I know it's very popular, but. And then for the final step, sour cream. Just spread it on there, okay? Okay. And that should do it. All right. I'm starving, so I'm gonna eat these off camera. But that was our tacos, and thanks again for watching. I'm Carl Del Rocco. This is I'll Eat That, and we hope you'll continue. I've had a lot of people with positive feedback, so I thank you for that, and you guys have a happy Halloween. Thank you.